Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Davo from Archon Esports, bringing you another 1v1 StarCraft 2 cast. Excellent, now in the brilliant HD that I have managed to get together, which I'm really happy about, which is 720p. Excellent, cool beans. If you're not reading the names already, our blue Terran in the bottom right hand corner is EGDeMusilm, and then our red Zerg, who is feeling quite sorry for himself by the tone of his typing there, is Swoozy, who is in our top left-hand corner today. Right, so just a little bit about the players. Sorry about my chair. Swoozy I couldn't actually find much information on at all. He does seem to be one of these players who is quite up-and-coming, I'd suppose, and perhaps even coming up. I mean, I haven't seen this cast yet, so hey. Let's see what happens. EGDeMusilm saying that smashing players of a lower level on ladder has its ups and downs. Very nice. Okay, and of course, in the bottom right hand corner we do have EGDeMusilm, which I have said before, but he is also known as the Devil Terran. And he's only just pretty much recovered from a hand injury that he had. Unfortunately for him, being a pro gamer, having a hand injury is not the best thing in the world. It does look like EGDeMusilm will be blocking off here. I can't really think of any other reason why he'd be putting his buildings there. And plus, I mean, he's got to be careful because, especially against Zerg players, this is a 4-player map, and Swoozy will have to scout these positions, which he's just scouted that one. In order to kind of find out where his opponent is. But if he lucked out and scouted this first, he could have Lings up by now, and Lings running towards EGDeMusilm's base, and it would be something that EGDeMusilm would have to be very, very careful about indeed. Apparently EGDeMusilm engineering bay blocked Machine's natural expansion on the on this map once, which is a nice bit of trivia. Awesome. Sorry about that language. Even though I do swear, but I try to keep it at an absolute minimum. And this poor Marine, literally, he's just running back and forth. The poor guy must get really dizzy or something. God, I can't imagine a worse day. He's only taking about 7 paces and then turning around. Not nice. Okay, so Swoozy's second hatchery has just popped in his natural expansion, and it does look like he'll be pretty much filling up this expansion quite quickly with drones, which is awesome. And we do have an SCV popping into the main base here, and it does look like once that queen pops, it'll be definitely cleared out. If not, the Zerglings come and get it beforehand, which it does look like these Zerglings will take this down in time. It might take quite a while to kill it, but they will kill it eventually. Now, in the production tab, we do see a command center on the way for EGDeMusilm. So it does definitely look like he's going to be going for an expansion. Also, we do have 2 barracks on the way, kind of facilitating his role into a more kind of bio build. Most high-level Terran players are very, very good at splitting Banelings. There's basically no reason to actually talk about how good they are, because that is essentially what they do. They are just really, really good at splitting their Marines against Banelings. I may have said splitting Banelings earlier. Maybe. There's a Zerg situation that requires it. Okay, so that Zergling meeting a rather unfortunate end there at the hands of these 2 Marines. One of them who has finished having his jog over and over again now. And we do have some Zerglings coming up here now and going into this 3rd base. They're probably going to start taking out the rock soon, I'd imagine, so Swoozy can take his 3rd, unless he does something really crazy and puts it here or here. Okay, so on the way we do have a Roach Warren from Swoozy, which is a fairly good choice, especially if you see as to what EGDeMusilm is getting. I mean, Hellions don't fare incredibly well against Roaches, it has to be said, because Roaches are, of course, armoured. And Hellions really strive against kind of light units. And we have the Zergling speed upgrade on the way for Swoozy as well, along with the armor shield upgrade, the combat shield upgrade for EGDeMusilm as well. Now we do finally have Roaches on the way for Swoozy, so now we'll give him a little bit of edge, because I mean, his army at this point in time is actually quite small compared to EGDeMusilm's. I mean, EGDeMusilm is a very seasoned pro player, and I haven't heard much about Swoozy before, so it'll be very interesting to see how this kind of plays out, if Swoozy can actually hold his own against this. And we do have roaches coming, and as I say, the roaches will kind of not fare, will fare really, really well against these Hellions, sorry. That Spine Crawler there kind of bucked back and then decided not to go for it, just waiting for the opportunity to strike. But unfortunately he did not see the opportunity just so quickly. We do have more Zerglings running through here and attacking these rocks too. And a mule coming down. Only today I heard the there's a mule song on YouTube. I'll probably stick a link to it underneath this video because it's awesome. Of course it's very nerdy, but hey, whatever. It's fairly nerdy to be doing this in the first place. You know, you could be playing it, but I really, really like doing this, and I suppose that just means I'm one big nerd. Now, a Hellion does go down there very quickly. That's what I mean about the roaches. That was about 4 Hellions versus 6-7 roaches, and they only sustained a little bit of damage. Now, EGDeMusilm is actually on a bit of a rampage here, and Swoozy does need to be very, very careful about what he does with these roaches. He does just need to kind of get them away from these Marines at the moment, because I think a few more roaches and then this might be a dealable situation for Swoozy. But we do have Banelings in the way going towards EGDeMusilm's army, and it does look like quite a lot of those Banelings will strike home very nicely and kill off EGDeMusilm's army pretty well. And there we go. So we have Swoozy successfully defending the first attack from EGDeMusilm with Banelings, but also we have a single Hellion here doing quite a bit of damage against some drones. So it looks like the Hellions decided to kind of break away and do a little bit of harassment while that attack was taking place, but it doesn't look like EGDeMusilm has actually done as much damage as I'd say he even needed or probably wanted. Now in the production tab we do have some fairly interesting stuff on the way. We have siege mode for our siege tanks, so they will become very, very effective extremely quickly against roaches. And we also have Stim, which is kind of a very core Terran upgrade. Stim really does open windows at how much DPS the Terran army can do, and in turn makes it really powerful. And I really like Stim, actually. I don't know if I covered this in an old cast of mine, but I remember in StarCraft 1, when you Stim your Marines, they used to like go, "Ah, yeah!" That's the best impression I could do of it. But they used to do that. And basically I always kind of find it absolutely hilarious how they were taking drugs. But of course, in my young brain, I didn't actually fully understand it until I was about, I don't know, I'd say about 14, I suppose. Okay, so we do have a Spire on the way from Swoozy as well, which will open windows for him very, very quickly as to what he can actually do with his army composition. But it does look like EGDeMusilm is actually preempting this a little bit by getting some missile turrets up as well. This could be to prevent burrowed unit play like burrowed roaches or infestors or something like that, but mainly as well it can be used to counter any sort of air play. We do have quite a lot of Zerglings here from Swoozy as well, and Zerglings of course are a very, very good base unit of the Zerg army, and overall very good unit indeed. But here we do have Mutalisks coming out as well from Swoozy. It'll be very interesting to see how he uses these Mutalisks in conjunction with his Zerglings and Roaches that he has on the field. I want to know if he's going to be doing some sort of counter attack, maybe like some sort of pincer movement. That line of Zerglings. Oh, awesome. So we do have Swoozy taking his 4th base here as well, which is pretty good, to be honest. You know, it does still put him 1 base ahead of EGDeMusilm, but he is a Zerg player, so he is after all going to be going what looks like to be for this 5th base as well, which is actually quite easily defendable because of these destructible rocks. It's surprisingly defendable. And of course, Swoozy does have the watchtower at the moment, and I'm willing to say that he has mostly got quite a lot of map control as well. I mean, really, he can see quite a lot of the map, which is very good for him. His units are all over the map. Being Zerg units, they are quite good at being in many places at once, because of the macro style of all the Zerg players. But here we do have the missile turrets from EGDeMusilm actually coming into play here, but Swoozy's Mutalisk micro was a tiny bit sloppy there. I wouldn't have really gone in on those towers if I was him. It was a tiny bit ambitious, really. All he really managed to do was destroy some towers, and seeing as Mutalisks cost 100 minerals and 100 Vespane each, I believe that's how much they cost. I don't know if that was really a worthwhile attack or not. Now we do have Swoozy expanding up here for the 5th time even, and that is excellent because it really does put him quite far ahead of EGDeMusilm. But here we do have a rather large move out from EGDeMusilm as well, and it does look like Swoozy is really quickly making some banelings in the in the production tab up there. I think Swoozy's going to have to be really careful about what happens here. Both players are at an equal, roughly equal anyway, army size, and we're set to have a rather cool looking battle here. And it does look like if EGDeMusilm doesn't split up his Marines effectively, then he could be in a lot of trouble. But we do have quite a lot of Infest to play as well going down. But the Marine and kind of tech mix really smashed Swoozy's army just there. On top of the fact that EGDeMusilm's splitting is actually very good indeed. There's also more chaos going on down here, as this expansion from Swoozy will probably get taken down by these Marines from EGDeMusilm if Swoozy doesn't do anything about it quickly. And EGDeMusilm's macro is very good. As you can see, he's got 187, 89, 189 back already in his production, making up to 12 Marines at once. You know, it's very good production indeed. Very fast, and that's what you get for having so many barracks with reactors on instead. And we do have some Marines there, unfortunately falling to the banelings. Banelings? Oh, talking about banelings, there's a lot of banelings coming down here, and it looks like there's some Zerglings coming on from the left-hand flank as well. I think that might have taken EGDeMusilm a little bit by surprise. Swoozy is saying, I don't know how to beat this. I mean, EGDeMusilm is just splitting his Marines very well. And basically his macro is very good as well. So he's essentially he is just playing very good. A little bit of advice there for EGDeMusilm, from EGDeMusilm even, is watch replay to see how he got behind. Can I kill you before you take your 3rd? Not really. I don't see a way to beat this then. Oh dear. Oh dear. Either way, GG, your race is quite good. Okay, so, I mean, really, I'm not sure if I enjoyed this cast too much to do. I kind of feel really sorry for Swoozy. He, right from the beginning, it was clear that he was dreading going up against EGDeMusilm. Obviously, EGDeMusilm is a very good player. But I'd really like to see more from Swoozy, actually. I really liked his Zerg players. It was really nice, actually. And it does look like he was going to transition into something like Broodlords later on, because he did have his tower up as well. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna be doing more and more StarCraft casts. That's absolutely fine. But you will be expecting to see some League of Legends casts on the channel pretty soon, and they won't be with me. They will be with my friend Tetra. He goes by many names. Tetra. Want some milk, funnily enough, or just regular old, I don't know, League of Legends player, I guess. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching my cast today. Have a lovely day and enjoy playing StarCraft. Goodbye.